We're going to talk about investing our money in one specific country in Africa, which is Equatorial Guinea. So let's first get started with the political landscape. The current president of the Republic of Equatorial Guinea is Teodoro Obiang Nguema Basogo, a former military officer. He has been the country's second president since 1979 and is widely regarded as the longest-serving president of any country and one of the world's few sequentially serving existing non-royal national leaders. During the presidency of the previous president of the country, Francisco Macias Nguema, who was his uncle, held several positions including director of Black Beach Prison. He also established the Democratic Party of Equatorial Guinea in 1987 and served as the country's sole legal party until 1992. Just like his uncle and previous president, he has too placed family members in government positions. So now let's go to the geographical landscape. As you already saw on the map, this country is situated at the crossroads of Cameroon to the north, Gabon to the south, and the Gulf of Guinea to the west. The country is comprised of two former Spanish colonies with a combined population of around 1.7 million people. This little country reported land size in 2021 was approximately 28,050 square kilometers, which is somewhat lesser than Belgium's area. Equatorial Guinea is divided in two parts, one of which is on the African continent and is known as Rio Muni or simply Mbini. The second region is Bioko Island, which is situated northwest of the Cameroonian coast. Malabo is Equatorial Guinea's capital and administrative hub. This city is located in the province of Bioko Norte on the island of Bioko. The Republic of Equatorial Guinea, the fourth oil-producing country in sub-Saharan Africa and seventh on a continental scale, has experienced rapid expansion since the discovery of enormous hydrocarbon reserves in the 90s. Even though it has oil and gas deposits, the Republic of Equatorial Guinea is establishing a genuine economic diversification program for its future sectors of fishing, agriculture, and tourism.
Risen in recent years. The literacy rate of Equatorial Guinea and employment in industry. The most recent graph shows there are three key sectors of Equatorial Guinea labor, especially industry, service, and agriculture. The first graph shows significant disparity between men and women. Women outnumbers the men in industrial sector by around 3 to 1. However, the total number of employees stay more stable. Employment in industry. Then there is the industry sector where we observe a gain in the overall number of employees. The contrast to the preceding illustration, but there is another noticeable difference. Women's work nearly equal to men, even if the statistic is somewhat darker blue than the bright one. Employment in agriculture. Finally, there is a work agriculture industry, even though the difference isn't enormous. We can tell that there is always more men working there. We are also seeing a gradual and steady growth in Equatorial Guinea. Unemployment. There is a significant youth unemployment problem. Even in year from 2010 to 2020, between 25,000 to 49,000 young people entered the workforce. Job creation is limited due to short length of non-oil industry. Oil contributes approximately 78% of GDP, yet employment is only 4%. Young people inadequate qualifications are no longer in demand in the labor market. There is a problem obtaining information about process work. Recruitment strategies not always visible. There is no well-defined policy in marketing youth problems. Nevertheless, the countryside finance and social development plan, which aims to diversify economy, includes a measure in direct young people's employment. Little progress appears to be seen in this. Demography. As of 2021, the population of Equatorial Guinea is projected 1.45 million, up through 3.34 in comparison of 1.40 million in 2020. Equatorial Guinea ranks 153rd in terms of population and 3rd in terms of population in Kisfi. There are 46% thousand births in Equatorial Guinea in 2021, that is 127 in line in today, that is rank 148. The basic beginning charge is 31 US dollars per thousand people. There are 12.64 thousand deaths in Equatorial Guinea in 2020. That is 35 in line in today. The rank is 151. The crude loss of life fee is 8.71 in line of 1000 people. 1.7 million individuals are residing in cities, that is 73.56% of Equatorial Guinea population. In terms of urbanization, Equatorial Guinea is ranked 91. The Equatorial Guinea is as at 2021. There are 125 adult males for every 100 females. Equatorial Guinea has 0.81 million adult men and 0.84 million females. The female population is 44.36%, whereas the male population is 55.84. The male outnumbers the female in 0.16 million in Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea ranks 194th out of 201 countries territories in terms of female and men ratio.
I am going to go on to talk about the various sectors that you can invest in Equatorial Guinea. Because the country has a large capacity for gasoline reserve and numerous opportunity, there are various industries that have to be explored by both international and national investors. I am going to start on by talking about the agricultural sector. Now, because Equatorial Guinea has excellent weather for all types of tropical and subtropical crops, it has a high potential in the agricultural development of the country. The zone that Equatorial Guinea is provides excellent opportunity for the development of small local business ventures that seek to invest in the sector in concerns with the production and processing of cocoa and coffee, the processing of juices, the processing and production of palm oil, coconut oil, soap making, the manufacture of fertilizers, cassava processing, sugarcane processing, and salt refineries. Now we're going to go on to cattle breeding, which includes various livestock as well, like chicken, ducks, goats, pigs, and the main points where we can invest in with the cattle breeding industry is slaughterhouse and animal vaccination centers to vaccinate the animals, pig and egg production, and animal production in general. Um, Still with animals, we're going to go on to talk about the fishing sector in Equatorial Guinea. Because it has a significant number of marine species, fishing is also an interesting sector to invest in. The country on itself has plans to the fishing industry and upgrade it to a regional leader in the marine production worldwide. Various opportunities in the fishing industry include the seafood production, fishing production, the supply of fishing boats, and the installation and repair of fishing nets. Another important sector is the petrochemical sector. Because Equatorial Guinea is at this moment the largest oil producer in the CEMAC region and the third largest in Africa, it has verified reserves with about 1.7 trillion barrels. Various sectors and opportunities in the petrochemical sector are the refining and recycling of industrial waste, paint industry, the asphalt industry, and the tire rethreading or the recycling of plastics. Now, in terms of tourism, lately it's not only been Equatorial Guinea, but a lot of African countries have been focusing on the tourism sector. Over the years, Equatorial Guinea has worked to improve the infrastructure of their tourism. Um, in addition to the prospects given by Equatorial Guinea as the primary ecotourism vacation sites, the country also offers various chances to increase high-level tourism in the country. I'm gonna go on to lastly talk about the transport industry. Equatorial Guinea has main ports like the one located in the capital city of Malabo, which has been refurbished to increase capacity. This is a very important sector to invest in. They have airports as well in the main cities like the Malabo and the Bata that have also over the years been rebuilt. With modern terminals. In addition, there have been three new additional airports that have been built in Anobon, the Mongo Megan, and Coristo, which had the purpose of improving the communication and the distribution of the country. Other main opportunities in this sector is commercial airlines, taxi companies to work in the airports, and the intercity transport network.
Equatorial Guinea has a relatively open trade policy, with trade accounting for 90% of its GDP in 2020. The government is attempting to lower non-tariff barriers as well as its complementary high custom taxes. In 2020, Equatorial Guinea's main export partners were China, Spain, Portugal, India, and South Korea, while imports mostly came from Nigeria, Spain, China, the United States, and Brazil. Because of its oil reserves, the country has sustained a trade surplus in current history. According to the most recent WTO statistics, it exported 3.2 billion US dollars in product in 2020 and imported 1.7 billion US dollars. Equatorial Guinea signed import and export treaties with several nations, including Gabon and Switzerland, both of which are members of the Central African Economic and Monetary. Equatorial Guinea has a civil and customary legal system, the most common type of legal system in the world, with over 150 nations employing it in various versions. The civil law system, sometimes known as European continental law, is based primarily in the Roman corpus juris civilis. Customary law is a sort of legal system that serves as the foundation or has impacted court laws in around 40 nations, predominantly in Africa, but also in the Pacific Islands, Europe, and the Middle East. Primitive law, unwritten law, indigenous law, and folk law are all terms used to describe customary law. In 2019, the ministry announced the creation of one-stop portal for business registration, where all business license processes might be completed in one location. Registrations are a significant factor into obtaining more transparency in the country. The main transcripts required for business registration are a copy of the company's business license, a charter, a list of the top business, registered capital, a passport copy of the legal representative, a registration permit, a certificate of no criminal conviction, a registrar, and a tax ID number. Most of the documentation can be provided to a law firm to handle the registration.
I will continue to talk about the cross-cultural aspects and to gain a better understanding of the culture and other various differences between the West and Equatorial Guinea. We will provide a graphic based on the economy of both continents. You can see here obvious distinction in currency, unemployment rate, inflation rate, cost of living, commercial taxes, average income, and corruption index. I will continue with the business etiquette, where we will talk about the don'ts and do's for doing business in Equatorial Guinea. They usually work in extended greetings. People like indirect mode of communication. They are not polite to express directly, and they are always on time. And if you want to be able to work with them, you should obviously arrive on time, dress appropriately when welcoming others, do not hurry, avoid delicate subjects, and concentrate on the connection. Avoid being too direct and read between the lines. obey the hierarchy, and respect the elderly or those higher in the ranks. To reach a win-win bargaining arrangement, focus on being adaptable. And to sum up the whole presentation, we need to remember that Equatorial Guinea is the African continent's only Spanish speaking country, has had the fastest growth rate in the last 5 years. It is one of the world's most oil dependent republic. It is essential to be educated about the country's societal and culture diversity and business climate. And overall, it provides the appropriate balance and profitability for foreign investors. Thank you for watching the video, and we hope that now you know how amazing Equatorial Guinea is.